Hey everybody, hope you guys are enjoying the content on this channel as of late. I just got done watching the Northman, something that I've been really anticipating. I'm gonna turn up the AC in here because it's a little hot. Um, yeah, this is something that I've been anticipating for quite a bit. I'm a big fan of Robert Eggers. I really, really love The Lighthouse. Really enjoy the film a lot. I go back to it every so often because it's really well done. I haven't seen The Witch yet, and I plan to see it very soon. But um, I'm a little bit mixed, to be honest with you. I'm a little bit mixed on how I feel about it. I think visually it's quite interesting. There's a lot of imagery that is very fascinating. And very expressive in its nature. It's a very expressive movie, which I think is kind of the problem for me. Um, but but I do enjoy that expression on a visual medium. I think that the performances are mostly good. I liked Alexander Skarsgård quite a bit. I liked his physicality quite a bit. Um, I also liked some of the landscapes, but what I feared with the Northman did come true, and that is that, when you hand someone a bigger budget, for some reason, narratively, it just doesn't seem as in depth as it used to be. Because Robert Eggers, when it came to The Lighthouse, it was very subtle in nature, and with that, there's this weight that you're feeling the entire time, because there's a level of uncertainty that you have with The Lighthouse. You're not sure who's saying the truth. You're not sure with what's really going on, and it creates this like nightmarish type experience that that really hits. And the Northman's trying to do something to that effect here, and it doesn't really work for me personally because it shows its hand a lot. Like, exactly what's going on, especially from a visual medium. Like, they try to play with certain imagery to like elicit a certain response that feels similar to The Lighthouse. But the difference between The Lighthouse and the Northman is that when you see the visuals in The Lighthouse, it further cements that uncertainty. Where with here, you know exactly what they're trying to say with those visuals. Like, they even say it out loud, to you. As if you're not smart enough to figure it out. It's also a very predictable story. Like, what's going to happen, and the navigation of it is pretty easy to figure out. There's a few things there and there that are interesting. Like, I went to the bathroom, right? And there's one particular plot element that involves Nicole Kidman. And I came back and sat down, and they were talking about Nicole Kidman at one point in the movie, and I thought, okay, the part I probably missed was this. And sure enough, it was exactly what I thought. And it just kind of speaks to the predictability of this kind of story. Like, what you would expect from a story like this is pretty much all you get. Like, there's nothing else beyond that can really surprise you, rather than a few visual things that are interesting. But again, they're not delivering any depth. They're just kind of making things more obvious, at least to me anyway. Like, this movie is not subtle in nature. It is the polar opposite of The Lighthouse, and I was kind of hoping for something like The Green Knight with the Northman in it. It kind of it kind of has its moments there and there, where it is, playing around with certain imagery and, some psychological elements that are interesting to see play out. But again, the difference between The Green Knight and with the Northman is that The Green Knight, while very expressive, is also very subtle. And it tries to walk on this road of uncertainty. Where with the Northman, it's pretty much laid out for you. and I'm not sure if I liked that. Um, so I'm a little torn with it. There are things about it that, from a visual point of view, that I think are pretty interesting. Again, some performances I liked, like Anna Taylor-Joy. I also thought was pretty good. I really liked it's very brief, but I liked seeing Willem Dafoe. I think he did a pretty good job with the very minor role that he had. I thought he did a pretty good job. Um, but as I said, I'm not sure how to feel about the how obvious, or how upfront it is with its story. I wish that it did more what the Lighthouse did, and that is like keep you still in a questionable mindset versus having such like in your face, this is what we're doing, here we go, like, you know what I mean. um, so I don't know, I'm not as enthralled or as amazed as some people are, because a lot of people are enjoying it right now. um, I think the Lighthouse is way better. um, I I think that Eggers got a little carried away with his budget. I think that that's what I'm kind of getting at. Because visually, it's also a little too strong for me. I feel like we could have like toned it down a little bit with how many like visual things they're trying to do. It's like as if like Eggers is saying, "Look, we have more money," you know. And I kind of wish they back down from that a little bit. Because again, just because you have a bigger budget does not mean you have to utilize all of it in a certain way. You can use it in other ways, but you don't have to, you know, be super expressive, because this movie is a little too expressive for me. Again, enjoyable, but I think it could have been toned down a tiny bit. Um, uh, but again, it has its moments. It's certainly not a bad movie. It's certainly not um, uh, uh, boring. I mean, it's definitely enjoyable in some parts. Um, like visually, it's visual. The visuals are definitely what keep you interested, um, and just the production itself, I think, keeps you engaged, because it is a nicely laid out production, and visually it is interesting. Um, I do wish, though, that Eggers did stay to his roots and just play a little bit more smaller and a little bit more subtly, because I feel like that would have strengthened the story that we're watching. Because with what we have, it's a bit predictable. It's a bit redundant visually. Again, I feel like we should have held back a little bit on the visuals. And the word I kind of choose for this is disappointing. I was kind of expecting something a little bit different, and what I got was something being too um, familiar. Like, it plays to a 3-act structure. It's not like The Lighthouse, where it's like, again, you have this huge level of uncertainty. It just kind of plays, you know, it goes the course that it um, like it's territory that you have seen before, and that's my big problem with the Northman. Because coming off The Lighthouse, which was very unique, I was hoping that we would get the same thing here with the Northman. But it's a film that you have seen before, and it is visually has a few tricks up its sleeve, but that can only take you so far and can only immerse you so far. So I liked it, but I didn't love it. I love The Lighthouse, but I think that Eggers should stick with smaller budgets, because I feel like him having a bigger budget, I feel like, kind of took away the artistry and the creativity that he does possess, and he was more, focused on certain aspects than others, and I feel like we should have focused on other things than what we got here. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Northman, and you guys let me know your thoughts, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next first impressions video, whatever that may be, or whatever the next video is. But you guys let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you guys next time.